Hello, lovely divine femmes. We're here again, Sunday, and it is time for the karmic read. So I'm going to get some energy, some general energy for how the divine masculine and karmic are getting on this week and just generally around that relationship. So Spirit, please can we have the energy for, oh, thank you. Oh, it says the energy is gaining momentum. Now, of course, we don't know which energy that is, whether it's going in a good direction or a not good direction. It's saying, hold your vision. Okay, so, hold your vision, divine femmes. Look at the third one that's come out. Oh, can you see it? Sorry, I'm recording in lamplight and that looks rather bright. That says, expect powerful change. Wow. So, divine femmes, we have the energy is gaining momentum. So hold your vision because expect powerful change. Fabulous beginning. Fabulous beginning. I'm going to go straight down. I don't want this to be a hugely long video, basically because it's been a very long day today and I want to make sure that we keep it concise. Okay. But you know how it is. Whenever I say it's not going to be a long video, it ends up being a long video. So let's go with the flow. So let's see how the divine masculine is feeling this week. How's the divine masculine feeling in his present circumstances? Okay, so we have sacral chakra. So he's all in his wishes and his desires this week. Let me just push that. Can I turn these the other way? I know that looks a bit crazy, but let's just turn them the other way so I've got more room on this very small table. So sacral chakra, we have coming together. Actually, that's very similar to last week, from what I recall, and awaiting results. Yeah, look, actually that is really interesting. And no wonder we had these three cards about powerful change and holding your vision, divine femme, because what we're seeing here is that the divine masculine is all in his wishes, his feelings, his desires this week. And he's thinking about coming together with his divine feminine. And he knows that the divine femmes are actually awaiting the results, you know? And there's a part of him that also is awaiting the result of this situation. Now, look, he wants to come together. I know that, you know, some of you may say, well, why doesn't he just get on with it? Why doesn't he just leave? But we know that there are complications in this situation. They're going to be different for everybody, but we know there have been changes in circumstances recently. We know that there are changes in, you know, just in their circumstances, yeah. So, you know, he's waiting for the right time to actually take that step forward. And maybe he needs to gather some courage as well. Maybe he's feeling a bit worried about stepping forward. He's got a mixture of sort of excited energy, but also worried energy at the moment. I don't know if any of you saw my my video the other day about the divine masculine and his message to the divine feminine. It was a very positive video, but what we've seen in the past week, or certainly what I've been picking up from my divine masculine, is fluctuations in emotion that are swinging from side to side, literally from depths of despair to feeling excited that he can handle this and he can move things on, you know? So he's waiting for that right moment. He's awaiting his own results, you know? He's waiting for the moment to step forward, but he's also painfully aware that his divine feminine is also awaiting some results here. You know? So, yeah, that's kind of interesting. And what's interesting about this is we're not getting any of his emotions, even though we're looking at the relationship between him and the karmic. We're not actually seeing any emotions about the karmic. These are very clearly about his wishes and desires, which is coming together with his divine feminine and choosing the time that is right and awaiting the moment when he can do it. So it's almost as though in his head, the karmic's been dismissed already. Let's see how the karmic's feeling. How's the karmic feeling, please, Spirit? How's the karmic feeling this week? How's she feeling towards the divine masculine? Oh, okay. She's feeling like she wants to celebrate, but let's get this in context and see. Move that over slightly so you can see them. How else is she feeling? Recognition and reward. Okay. And universe. How extraordinary. How extraordinary. There feels like there's been a really positive shift in their relationship. And, you know, I think, was it last week where the karmic was feeling very needy again? I lose track, to be honest. But here we have a karmic who's quite happy, feeling like celebrating something particular, feels that she's getting a lot of recognition and a lot of, you know, reward for, maybe she's getting a lot of attention from the divine masculine simply because of the circumstances, or simply because he's feeling in a much more settled state of mind. So, you know, this could just indicate the end of the arguments that they've been having on and off for the last few months, you know. She's certainly feeling, it almost feels like she's getting attention from somewhere, whether it's the divine masculine or whether it's somewhere else, because she's certainly, there's celebration, there's partying here, there's, she's feeling recognised and appreciated, well, not appreciated, just recognised, just that people are around her, you know. Remember, it's not gender specific, folks. It can go, you know, male or female. We're talking about energies here. I just stick to he and she because otherwise I get confused. But she kind of feels like, you know, the universe is working in her favour at the moment. You know, she feels sort of in touch with her spirituality, and she feels like she's rejoicing in some way. That's intriguing. We need to get some, let's have a look and get some clarification here, because this is intriguing. In fact, I'm going to stick with the karmic for a moment, because this is really fascinating that we've got such positive cards here. But I don't feel it's positive towards each other. I feel that there's a peacefulness towards them, each other. But I don't feel like there's that emotional connection that, you know, the karmic was craving last week. Oops. Yeah, look, this is appreciation card again, a gratitude card. So unless we have a karmic who's deluded this week, I really don't know what's going on here for the time being. Let's see. So, yeah, maybe, I don't know, maybe she's celebrating, maybe some karmics may have had a birthday this week. It could simply be that they've had a celebration and they're the centre of attention and they feel like they're the centre of the universe this week. It could be that. It could be a bit of, I won't say what I was going to say because I don't want to put labels on people, but there we are. So why do we have recognition and reward then, please? Why do we have recognition and reward? Whoop, thank you. It's a bit jumpy. It's that one, yep. Keep dancing. So this karmic is feeling that, you know, however dark things are around her, there's still a light shining that actually keeps her going, makes her feel special. And isn't it funny that we're talking about recognition and reward, and what we see here is a bright light shining through the darkness. It's like a spotlight. So it almost feels like, for some reason, the karmic has been in the spotlight this week. And as I say, it could be simply from people around her. Especially with this thank you card, it's making me think that there's been some sort of recognition or celebration that has centered around the karmic this week, whether it be a birthday, you know, for some of them it could even be a baby shower, you know, whatever it is. It feels like the attention's been on them. And, you know, that there's very much an ego feeling about this. It's quite superficial and quite ego-based. Yeah, interesting. Why do we have the universe card, please? Why do we have the universe? Sorry, I missed it, Spirit. Yeah, she knows that there's decisions to be made, you know, and she's using her intuition. You know, like I said, she's sort of keying into the spiritual world at the moment. You know, she may be just working with her subconscious and listening to her inner voice. But she knows there's decisions coming up. You know, and maybe she feels she has, because she's had a really good week, maybe she feels that she can influence that decision again. We really don't know with this karmic. I'm going to do some tarot clarifiers in a moment, but I just want to continue and have a look at some clarifiers here for the Divine Masculine. His energy feels very separate, but not in a harsh way. It just feels like that's done, you know, let her play. Which sounds very patronising. I don't mean that to sound patronising, because that wouldn't be fair. But it kind of feels like he's saying, yep, okay, well, if she's having fun, that's fine. I can get on with my thoughts, my desires, my inner self. It may be that some of the Divine Masculines are playing the game again. You know, they maybe are just keeping the karmic happy while they're taking steps towards their Divine Feminine. Oh my goodness. That nearly knocked all of my cards across the floor, seriously. I've got other decks here and it sort of was very precarious. But let's see. Why do we have sacral chakra, please? Thank you. Yeah, I think he's going for an easy life this week because, you know, here we have blow off some steam. So he's letting go of any stress, any pressure. He's very much in his heart space. He's very much in his wishes and his desires, trying to avoid being agitated because he knows that isn't helping, because, you know, he'd rather the karmic just be happy at the moment because it makes his life easier. So he's sort of, there's a bit of the essence of him avoiding the issue, really, but in his head it's going on, but he's not confronting anything with the karmic at the moment. That's the feeling I'm getting. But I love this card because it says so many things. Look at the flags that these boys are waving. I think they're all boys. Yeah, they are in the card. Look at the flags they're all waving. There's a sort of a feeling of celebration there, but they've got forward movement. It reminds me of the Chariot card, even though it's a train track. But, you know, they're moving forward and they're celebrating. So, you know, while they're in their wishes and their desires and their hopes and their feelings this week, they're already planning in a positive way and feeling better inside about moving forward and celebrating their futures. So why do we have coming together, please? Why do we have coming together? Yeah, they're really in their heart space. They've been listening to their inner music, if you like, you know, listening to what really makes them feel relaxed, listening to what really moves them, you know. And they've been listening to that. I love the fact that he's got his hand on his heart, you know. because it's about what touches their inner being. And they know, because they've been listening to their inner voice, that they want to be with their divine feminine. I very nearly put these cards down the other way up, and those of you that watch my channel often know that when that happens, because normally I put them deck down, sometimes I put them deck up, I very nearly did that one, and then at the last minute changed it because I was having conscious thoughts about it. But the bottom card we have here is change the scenery. So they've been listening to their inner heart. They know that they need to be somewhere else, you know, be with their divine feminine. But, well, it's not even a but. That's where they're at this week. Yeah, look at this. This is just flicked up as well. They want to start anew. So they're ready to move on. They're ready to start with the person who's in their heart space. And, of course, that's you, Divine Femme. So why do we have awaiting results, please? Why do we have awaiting results? Why do we have awaiting results? I wasn't sure whether I needed to take both of those cards, hence me sort of fiddling with them, but we have awaiting results here. Then we have say no, but we also have give yourself the best. Now, the Divine Masculine knows that you're the best. Without a question, he knows that you're the best. He's drawn towards you. He can't get you out of his heart. He can't get you out of his head. He doesn't really want to, even though he's confused about it. And he wants to choose that moment where he can come forward and give you the absolute best, Divine Femme. So he wants it the best for himself, but he also knows that when he comes forward with an offer, especially because he's coming out of a karmic relationship, he knows that his offer to you has got to be the best, okay? And he's terrified that you're going to say no. He's absolutely terrified that you're going to say no. Because he could have easily, well, it wouldn't have been easy, but he could have chosen to stay with the karmic. But when he takes this step forward, he's taking a risk in his mind because he's fearful that you're going to say no. You're going to say, look, you've messed me about enough. I'm not having it. Okay? And to be rejected by the Divine Feminine would be the worst thing that he can think of right now, because he's really in his feelings. He really has to. It's taken him a long time, as we all know, to start to feel that he wants to start anew, to feel that he really is definite about this. But now he's terrified that if he does step forward, you're going to say you're not interested. Bit of a dilemma, hey? Anyway, right, let's do some tarot. Let's have a look. I'm going to go right down the middle. Let me just... I over-clarified there, didn't I? Let's go down the middle. So, what are the next steps between the Divine Masculine and the Karmic, please? What is the Divine Masculine actually going to do? Okay, once again, this has come up time and time again in various Divine Masculine readings about him needing to move from focusing on negative into positive action. Not action, sorry, but into positive. Must be getting late. I'm getting my words muddled up. We have the Divine Masculine here focusing on what's missing from his life and not focusing on what is positively there. And again, this sort of fits with the say no card because, you know, he's worrying that if he steps forward, he's going to be left with nothing. And he's not realising that you're standing, waiting there with the cup that is full of goodness, and he is not accepting that that could be possible after all that he's done. That's how he sees things, you know. We may see things totally differently, but that's what he's feeling at the moment. So what will he do next, Spirit? What will the Divine Masculine do next? Yeah, look at him. It's like, look at him, people, look at him. He's in King of Cups energy, so all the emotions are there. We've already said he's in his feelings this week, but he's keeping them to himself, so he's not ready to tell you yet. But, you know, he's got all those all those loving feelings there, but he's scared to actually express them. He's not very good at expressing his emotions. What else? What is he actually going to do though, please, Spirit? What steps is he actually going to take? Okay, let's keep going. That one, okay, thank you. So he's going to focus on his work, as he tends to do. He tends to sort of bury his head in his workspace in order to, you know, keep his life sort of fairly sane, because it helps him to avoid his emotions if he's concentrating on his work. But also that's partly because when he steps forward, he wants to give you the best, and he is actually interpreting that in financial ways at the moment, because he's not sure that you're going to accept him in emotional ways. So, you know, he's going to be very work focused at the moment and building what he sees as putting some security away for the future. Oop. But look, we have Six of Cups energy. So for some of them, they may be addressing some childhood issues, and maybe, you know, that may be part of their sort of, I was going to say personal development, but you know what I mean, their awakening. But also the Six of Cups is about the past and somebody returning from the past. So, you know, we do have a return here. We do have the divine masculine moving towards the divine feminine. So, you know, we have him here focusing on the worry about what happens if he's left with nothing because you reject him. He's here in his own feeling space, but not sharing his feelings with anybody. Here he's building he's focusing on work because it's a safe place to him, but he's building his finances as well. And then he's planning to come back into your life, Divine Femme. That's where he's at. That is where he's at the moment. Interesting. Okay, I was going to do some tarot for. I was going to do some tarot then for the karmic, but I don't really want to end on tarot for karmic, to be honest. I was just intrigued to see what tarot would come up for the karmic. Which probably means I have to, because if it's here, it won't leave me if I don't do it. So let's have a look at this, and then we can go back to Divine Masculine in a moment. Thank you, Spirit. Yeah, you see, she's definitely in this celebratory sort of mindset where she feels that, you know, she's being, again, rewarded for past efforts. So whatever, and I want to say game is being played, which is probably unfair for some karmics, but with the, let's not go there. The actual, this karmic swings from wanting to walk away herself because her emotions are all over the place, to actually wanting to believe that everything's fine, you know? She knows that there's decisions being made, but I think there's a sense of security about her at the moment, that she's just sort of letting things ride and thinking they'll be okay. And maybe she's deluding herself a little bit, as I said earlier, because she feels that she's going to be rewarded. Yeah, she's expecting things. There's clear conversations here, and she's expecting, you know, this is a new beginning. Obviously, it's an ace. Aces are always new beginnings, but this is a new beginning, a new clarity. Maybe she thinks that they're going to have some nice, clear conversations, and, you know, that will be enough to turn things around. Let's just get one more, please, Spirit. Oh, that's interesting. We have three quite powerful cards here, actually, but very interesting. So we have her feeling that her efforts are going to be rewarded. We feel that she's going to forge forward with new clarity over a situation, and maybe then this is about her clarity and moving away from the divine masculine, because she's taking a leap of faith. Let me see if the angels will tell us whether it's to the whether she thinks that she's taking a leap of faith with the masculine or without. So Spirit, my angels, please can you tell me, is it, oh yes, she thinks that she's moving ahead with the divine masculine, so she's fooling herself again this week. This keeps happening every 2 or 3 weeks. We seem to play the same roller coaster, where one moment she feels that she's moving ahead with the divine masculine, the next moment she wants to be away from the divine masculine. It feels like, you know, that must be a lot of pressure for both of them, really, because it's not a secure relationship at all. But yes, she feels that she's going ahead with the divine masculine. And she feels that this outcome, maybe they've had discussions prior to this week, and that this week they're deciding the outcome. But the divine masculine's heart and his head are elsewhere. They're with us, I nearly said. Yeah, they're with us, divine femmes. So what an interesting situation that is. Okay. So we started off, I was going to do some more moonology, but I won't, because I now remember we started off with these, and I don't want you to forget these, divine femmes, because remember, this was a very strong message. It said the energy is gaining momentum, so hold your vision and expect some powerful change. We've never had 3 cards that strong come out in a karmic read before. And these are messages that were the overarching sort of energy. But I felt that they were definitely messages for the divine femme. Rather than being the overall energy of this relationship, we're being told that a powerful change is coming and that this energy is gaining momentum. And I do feel from the divine masculine that his energy is really changing. We're just, again, awaiting results. And it may be that because whatever these circumstances were, maybe that's what's holding him here at the moment, because he feels he can't leave at the moment because of some set of circumstances. But hold your vision, divine femmes, because powerful change is coming. Fantastic. Okay, I'm going to close it there. I know I said it was going to be short, and I know it probably hasn't been yet again, but I find it all intriguing. All right, for those of you who haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please join us. We're heading rapidly for 2,000. I'm being over enthusiastic there, because I think, what were we on earlier? Was it 1,680 something? I may have imagined that. You'll be able to see the figures anyway next to the channel name. But if we could get it to 2,000, I would be overjoyed, because, you know, it's just, I love the support. It's just fantastic. I love hearing your comments. You know, when you like and you subscribe, it really, really helps to boost the channel. So please join me. Please join us. It's fun. Anyway, thank you so much, and I hope you enjoyed today's reading. Please give me a like if you do, and I will catch up with you very, very soon. Take care.